One of the biggest stories of this offseason has been what will happen with Jensen, the star mid laner, who now basically has the mid lane crown exclusively, given that Bjergsen is no longer competing. His contract is up with Team Liquid this year, and so a lot of people are trying to figure out where he's going to go. Let's get into it. Well, I won't keep you waiting much longer. I will just tell you that sources have informed me that Jensen has reached an agreement with Team Liquid to extend his contract for 3 more years with the organization. And while things have not been officially signed yet, they're expected to be signed in the very near future. And of course, this number, which I'm sure some of you guys are really curious about, because again, he's a very valuable player in a post-Bjergsen world, especially, is 4.2 million over 3 years is what the contract is valued at. Now that's the highest I think I've heard so far. Maybe somebody can correct me if there is another number, but that would be spread out again over those 3 years of his contract at Team Liquid. Very interesting to note that if he does end up staying with Team Liquid for all 3 of those years, he will have actually been at the org longer than he'd been at Cloud9, which is, you know, a lot of team that a lot of people still tend to associate with him with. So I think this is a really big pickup for Team Liquid to be able to secure him. Jensen, I think, also has been a player who seemed pretty stable over the past couple of years. You can usually rely on him to be pretty good over the course of the full year. So I think that that brings a lot of stability to the organization in the mid lane, and will probably help them with some of the other signings that they are trying to make, and in the future trying to retain other talent. So also, it was reported by ESPN after I had talked about it as a rumor on my channel before, that Alphari will be joining Team Liquid as well. Still unsure on who their jungle will be, though I continue to hear rumors that Santorin is the most likely pickup for that position. And so what we're looking at next year would be a Team Liquid with Alphari, possibly Santorin, Jensen, CoreJJ, and Tactical. We're gonna have to see if any other team is able to put up any, I don't know, challenge to this, because I think a lot of people would look at that roster and say, hey, this is pretty scary. But it's still early days in the offseason. That being said, I do think that Jensen getting locked in will start to open up a lot of other conversations across different organizations, because sometimes it's like a domino, right? Where everybody's kind of waiting to see where certain players will go. Now that Jensen has gone to Team Liquid, or will be staying with Team Liquid, we'll have to see what other people decide to do in that mid lane position and where talent decides to go after that. Again, happy for Team Liquid. Congratulations to them and to Jensen on this. Seems like a pretty historic signing. I'm very curious to see what you all think about this. So please leave me a comment. And I'm going to be trying to do more coverage of off-season. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one, which could happen any moment. Hey, I hope you really enjoyed that video. We're trying to do a bunch of cool stuff for off-season and the tail end here of Worlds and moments after Worlds, whatever. Anyway, we're going to be doing a bunch of cool stuff, and we couldn't do that if it wasn't for Alienware. I know you've heard me talk about them before, possibly. But I do want to give a shout out to them. You can check out their link in the video description below to save 10% off your order. And remember, it's a great time to be looking at computers with all these different sales come up and all that stuff. I've got this Alienware desktop with a 3080 behind me. 3000 series from NVIDIA. Fantastic stuff that you can now get in these Alienware Auroras. You can go check those out at alienware.com/Travis. They also have amazing notebooks and monitors, all sorts of great stuff. So anyway, thank you so much to Alienware. And I'm sorry that this outro wasn't weird, but I've decided to do at least 1 or 2 non-weird ones just to keep you guys on your toes.